On March 8, 2014, something unbelievable happened. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, heading to Beijing, China, but it never arrived. The plane simply vanished from radar, and to this day, it remains one of the biggest mysteries in aviation history. Flight MH370 was a Boeing 777 carrying 239 people, 227 passengers, and 12 crew members. The flight began normally around 12:41 a.m. Everything was smooth. The plane climbed to cruising altitude, and the pilots communicated with air traffic control as usual. But just 40 minutes after takeoff, everything changed. At 1:19 a.m., the pilot said his final words, "Good night, Malaysian 370. A few minutes later, the aircraft disappeared from radar screens. It was as if the plane had vanished into thin air. For hours, no one knew what had happened. The families of passengers waited, hoping for news. But nothing came. When Malaysian officials checked the radar records, they saw something strange. The plane had turned sharply off course. Instead of flying northeast toward China, it turned west and flew back across Malaysia, then out toward the Indian Ocean. This raised a chilling question. Was it a technical problem, or did someone inside the plane make that turn on purpose? Search teams from many countries began one of the largest search operations in history. Dozens of ships, airplanes, and satellites scanned the seas. At first, they searched near Vietnam, where the plane was last tracked. But later, data from a British satellite company called Inmarsat showed something unexpected. The plane had continued flying for almost 7 more hours after losing contact, heading south into the remote Indian Ocean. Based on that data, experts believe the plane crashed somewhere in a lonely stretch of ocean west of Australia. But finding it wasn't easy. The Indian Ocean is deep and massive, with rough waters and strong currents. For years, teams searched an area covering more than 120,000 square kilometers, yet they found nothing. Then, in 2015, a small piece of the plane washed up on a beach on Réunion Island, near Africa. It was part of a wing called a flaperon. Later, more debris from MH370 was found on islands and beaches along the western Indian Ocean. These discoveries confirmed the plane had indeed crashed somewhere in that area. But the main wreckage, the fuselage, the black boxes, and the truth still remain hidden beneath the waves. Many theories have tried to explain what happened. Some say it was a sudden technical failure. Others believe the pilot might have changed course intentionally. A few even suspect hijacking or a fire in the cargo area. But without the black boxes, nobody can say for sure. Every idea has questions, and none provide all the answers. The official investigation lasted for years and cost hundreds of millions of dollars. In 2018, the final report stated that the reason for the disappearance could not be determined. The families of passengers were left heartbroken, still waiting for closure. Today, the mystery of MH370 remains unsolved. It has inspired books, documentaries, and even conspiracy theories. But behind all the speculation are the real human stories. 239 lives lost, and families still searching for peace. The disappearance of Flight MH370 reminds us how fragile life can be, and how even in our modern world full of technology, some secrets of the sky can still remain hidden. Some believe one day the truth will surface, maybe from new technology, maybe from new debris, or maybe from a miracle discovery deep in the ocean. Until then, Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 stands as one of the greatest mysteries ever, a story of silence, loss, and the endless search for answers.